Man, let's take this back, man. Shout out to everybody for hopping in last minute with me tonight. You know what I'm saying? I hope to get some good feedback. I hope to hear what y'all have to say too. And I hope I'm giving y'all some good insight, give you some good insight on where I feel what this is and what just my thoughts with all the noise going around. So I want to take this back to the very beginning when Kendrick first got the announcement, right? And so I think the big narrative right now is, or even back then, I think it was a lot of shock on one side. Because with the Super Bowl being in New Orleans, it would kind of seem, so to speak, that it should be Wayne. That's kind of seems logical and all that. And I thought at that moment, for me, the reason why I had a problem with that discussion is because I feel like it took away from Kendrick's opportunity. Meaning, like, I think we missed the whole idea of this is the first time we're going to have a hip hop act headline the halftime show. So that was the first thing for me. And so, the thought process even and then was like, you look at Wayne catalog, like New Orleans, all of that. I'm thinking, oh, it'll be Wayne and Friends. It's gonna be all of the things, right? Like that's the thought originally. But then you heard Kendrick, you're like, oh wow. And then it's like, all right, well, the year that he's having at that point in time, it's like, that made sense. And then if we start getting into showmanship and performance and all that, it's like, bet, you know what I'm saying? Run that. Like that's gonna be fire. So the conversation I'm having with the homies is like, okay, we know, I've been to a few Kendrick concerts. So I'm already thinking to myself, like, this is gonna be, he's gonna put on a show performance. It's gonna be something where we're gonna have to think like all of these things, just being to 3 or 4 of his shows already. So you kind of already know what you're getting. And so then the conversation goes into, will he bring Wayne out? How will he pay homage to New Orleans? He's gonna bring a band. He's gonna do all of that. So that's like the conversation and thought. But then, Wayne hops out there and speaks his mind and how he feels and all of that. So we already knew that was a dub. So it's like, all right, Wayne ain't coming out. All right, bet. So now, once again, like I said, we still in the tail end of this battle. And so now it's people are on one side saying that, if it wasn't for Drake, Kendrick wouldn't have the year that he's having. And then it goes into his catalog. He doesn't have the hits. He doesn't have all these things. And so and I'm a fan of both. Let's put that out there. I think they both make great music. On the MC side, I lean more towards Kendrick. Like, that's obvious. And so, you start looking at the run and start thinking everything through. And like I say, it makes sense. And so for me, I was kind of tired of the narrative of he ain't got hits. He ain't got slaps. Like the stage is too big. I'm like, yo, like this dude just had one of the highest selling tours with Mr. Morale. Like, have you been to a show like outside of Kanye, as far as when it comes to stage or performance? Like Kendrick does that. So but you have things fueled with hate, and this is both sides. Like, you got the super Kendrick that Kendrick can do no wrong, the super Drake can do no wrong. And like I said, I like to look at things just overall. Like, let's just keep it real on what's what. And so, like I said, back to the slaps and the hits and all that. I'm like, no, bro, we talking 13 minutes. We talking, he has 5, 6 albums, 6, 7 albums at this point. Like, you mean to tell me y'all don't think he can do 13 minutes of hits, like commercial records that people will know, and so that's the thing. So then we get into this whole conversation of what is he going to perform, and that's, for me, I start thinking, well, actually, hold on, let me take y'all back. So boom, so now we're in October, we get into November. The actual conversation is, when is he gonna drop an album? Like I said, I have to take y'all back through this so we can lead up to either why people felt underwhelmed or excited about what the positions were. So once again, like I say, is we have a conversation of, did he earn it? Is he the best one? And I want you all to keep in mind, this is the first time we've ever had a hip hop headliner, right? Like, usually, like I said, we just came off Usher, and I want to throw something else out there. Like, I think this is 5, I think Weeknd, Rihanna, Dre, Usher, and now Kendrick. So the last 5 years since Rock Nation has taken over. So before that, yeah, we had Beyonce, we had Mike, we had Prince, but we spent, like, this is Super Bowl, what number is 50 something or 40 something, whatever number 50, like we've suffered as black people, you know what I'm saying? Like through some BS Super Bowls. So that's a whole nother thing that I'm gonna get to that a little later. So when we start talking about best and worst and what was for the people and what wasn't for the people, like keep all of this in mind, right? So anywho, we get to October and November or whatever. It's like, when is he gonna drop the album? I'm like, man, like it'd be smart if he drops the album, because we know an album is coming. It's like he's gonna drop it either the weekend of or the weekend, like either the day of the Super Bowl or the weekend before. Now, mind you, this is before GNX drops. So we're all on the side of he's gonna do old records, hits. So you're still thinking that. Boom, November comes, he drops GNX. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it feels like it comes from nowhere. So it feels like mixtape. Like, is this the project? Nah, something else is coming. It's going crazy. You putting on for the city. Like, it was definitely a moment. Mixed reviews, but you still had those 3 or 4 records that you knew what was gonna go. Like I said, for me and my inner circle on the music side, like we were loving that album. You know, it was a fire album. It's like, yo, like he's really tapped in. Let's rewind again. I gotta double back. Remember the pop out. So since They Not Like Us dropped, everything Kendrick has been doing is culture Compton related. I want y'all to pay attention to this. This is very important. This is very important to the things leading up, because it all makes sense. Like, think about it. He did the pop out. Now, one of the things back in June, which he dropped on Juneteenth, right? Drops Not Like Us on July 4th, right? So one of the things that's interesting is that he did the pop out, and what Katz was talking about is like, what does the pop out do for artists? Like these artists aren't going to get any daylight after this. Like that was the conversation. And so he's been really like putting the West on, and there was people coming out of the fence like, yo, Kendrick has always looked out. Like, that's been a conversation as well. It's like, yo, this is nothing new. He does stuff that just people just don't know about, right? So mind you, that's the conversation in June from different sides of it. Also, it's like, bet this is a moment. Everything is about a moment. Anyway, so he drops GNX, another moment. You got these other West Coast artists on there that people that's maybe popping in LA and parts of there, but over on this side, we don't know who they are. They're getting their look, right? So boom, what happens after Oh, of course, he got SZA on the album. So what also happens in this moment of time, he drops an interview with him and SZA. I forgot what news outlet that it was, but they have an interview. Then he drops that he's going to do the GNX tour, which is going to be a stadium tour in football. Like that's big. That's not arena, not bad. We talking 70,000, whatever. It's the GNX tour. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. Now, we're still having a conversation about what songs is he going to perform? Because clearly he's not going to do GNX. Like, clearly he's not, because he's going to give the hits, right? Like, that's the thought. But my man just dropped tickets for a concert. Then he doubles back and say SZA's going to be part of she's going to be a part of the halftime show, and SZA is a part of the tour. Let's line it all up. All right, so now beef's still going on, right? We getting ready for the Grammys. Now the conversation is he going to perform They Not Like Us at the Super Bowl? Now, mind you, I'm gonna double back. I'm going back and forth with this timeline. So back in October, November, or whatever, like I say, the homies and I, we talking like, he'll probably do the horns is gonna come out. He's gonna probably bring out an HBCU band. He's gonna pay this homage. They gonna probably just do the hook, and then that's it. Like that was really the thoughts. It's gonna be just the hook, and then you just keep it moving. Let the horns play, because he don't need it. he doesn't need it, right? Like he doesn't have to do it. Then fast forward, they start coming with the lawsuits and the defamation and all that. So all of hip hop is in an uproar right now. It's just like, oh, this is wild. Like now he's about to get sued. So now the conversation really is he go really, like, now that this is, what is the NFL? So we got to look at the NFL. We got to look at the TV, like advertisement and all of that. So now we're all sitting, the conversation is, will he do it? Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Like that's a real big thing, right? We get to the Grammys. Sweet, five Grammys. They Not Like Us, biggest record. Now, here we are in February. This dropped May 4th. So he cleans up. Key point at the Grammys. What do? They never play like the verse. Like, I ain't gonna lie, they after Drake, right? Like I mean, it's the writing is right there. We see it, so we can't deny that. But right now, I just want to focus on Kendrick and the lead up to this halftime show. So mind you, the buzz is still going on. Like, is he going to do the song? That's what this whole thing is about. Now, like I said, told you, as a fan, I'm thinking in the beginning, it's like, yo, we gotta have the slaps, because people is really talking crazy on this man. Like, he don't have hits. Like he's not a international artist, right? Like, he doesn't sell out tours like overseas. Like, he's not him. He's him. Like, the proof is there, right? And so that's the other thing. It's like, yo, you don't have to like an artist, but you have to respect them. Like, I'll compare it to football. Like, I'm not a Brady fan, but I know Brady is great. Like, to say he's not a GOAT, because he's not mine, but he's A1, is like, I'd sound crazy. So to say Kendrick ain't that, like, you sound crazy, right? So anywho, boom, the Grammys. He walks up on the stage and they go crazy, A minor, like everybody's like, oh shoot, they did it at the Grammys. So now we know it's like, oh, they letting it all fly. They letting it all fly. They letting it all fly. So once again, we have to look at everything. We have a tour that's dropping and coming. You got SZA that's gonna be a part of the show. Now there's still conversations. Who's he gonna bring out? Will he bring out something? Mind y'all, still remember, this is the first time hip hop is headlining the Super Bowl. Now let's put that in place of saying it's Kendrick. If you are, one of my favorite Kendrick albums is To Pimp a Butterfly. So mind you, he can go blackety black and do a whole bunch of records from To Pimp a Butterfly. But once again, like All Right, and even from Good Kid, Mad City, the Backs Down Freestyle, he did that, Dr. Dre's. And that was the other thing. I was like, dang, what is he gonna do? What he's gonna bring out? Because he's already did a couple of those records during the West Coast, back in LA with Dr. Dre or whatever, right? So leading up to a week, and this is where I feel bad at, and this is where, for me, the Super Bowl performance, and I'll just go ahead and say, for me, I was a little underwhelmed, and I'm gonna tell you why. Unfortunately, there was a list that came out maybe 4 or 5 days that leaked across the internet and all of that, and I heard about it on the Joe Budden podcast, and when that list came out, it was taken down. It was like floating on X, and then like I think somebody reposted it on Facebook, and I seen it. I didn't say anything to anybody about it. I seen the list. I seen the set design. I seen and so from that point, it was like 3 or 4 days. I felt cheated, and I was like, damn. Like, I'm looking at it, I was like, maybe this is not it, because there's no way that this is going to happen. Like the team is too tight. But then you have to realize, and I want to throw something else out there that people might have not known, but in the process of this, Kendrick, they were hiring like 500 people to be a part of the show. And that message went around too. So to be a stagehand or be a part of that. So I thought that was good for the city of New Orleans, right? So I don't know who all, like if it was people that came in, but they were hiring people to be a part of the show. Now, when you start doing things like that, like I said, you got to think, it's probably, if you got 500 that you're hiring, it's probably 1,000 or so people that's helping put this show together, right? And leaks happen, but I don't know that we've ever seen a Super Bowl leak, right? You know what I'm saying? Like not to this magnitude or whatever. So I seen the set list a few days before, and it was talked about on the Joe Budden podcast. He named the songs, and so a lot of it was exactly what it was. So for me, the reason why I was underwhelmed on one side is because it was like I had already seen it, and it was more like I was always thinking after I seen it, I was like, oh, he's gonna switch it up or he's not gonna do it. It wasn't like a disappointment in the show. It was just like, damn, I already seen it, so I know what's coming. So as soon as I seen Samuel come out, and I was like, I mean, it said it right on there, right? And that's for me, like, I don't like leaks. I don't like, and somebody could say, oh, you didn't have to look. I mean, it was on my, I looked, I didn't go searching for it. But it was literally, and I looked, like I said, I still believe, I just couldn't believe that would be it. And it showed the PlayStation, like it was the diagram, it was everything. And I was still like, that's fly. Like, but it didn't go into the detailed part, but you could just see the outline of it and then the set list. So whoever the hater was that did that, and come to find out on DJ Academic's show, like I think it was somebody that was working in there that leaked it out, and boom, it went up. So now here's the fire thing about it. I know that they knew that this happened, but guess what? He still did it and knocked it out the park, right? And so what makes it fire for me, like as an artist, as a hip hop artist, like I said, I was underwhelmed because I mentally knew what was happening. The show itself. Now let's run this back. Now let's really dive into the show for show, right? Like, number one, mind you, if you're doing a halftime show, what the world is used to is the hits, and it's a lot of times for legacy acts, and what it does is it resurges your career. Now, I want to say this: Usher's my favorite R&B guy. Usher dropped his album right before the Super Bowl. It wasn't it. We didn't want it. Let's just keep it real. We didn't want it. We didn't want it at all. Like, we didn't want it. That's all I can say. I mean, I tried to want it, but we didn't really want it. And so I say that to say he came through with all of the hits. And so for Usher, like we're talking 25 years of music, right? We're talking, I think who was it? The year before that, you got Dre. We talking another 25 years of music. So we get to Kendrick once again. We're thinking since 2010, 2013 is when Good Kid dropped. So my thought, or 2012 is when Good Kid dropped, right? So back to what I was saying about the hits, he has them, but unlike Usher of dropping an album during the week, he dropped the album in November, December or whatever, or November, because then we start thinking that December the deluxe was gonna happen. Now, if you've paid attention to any of music or any sports, squabble up, TV off. Mustard just got the Mustard deal. Mustard just got the Mustard deal. They've been running these records, low key, like 2-3 records. The Luther's been on the charts if you follow the charts. But as an artist, I'm thinking to myself, if I got a concert coming up, a tour, if I can control, I'm doing what I want to do, I'm still want my numbers to go up that I own. Oh, that's another thing. You got to understand, I think his deal might be 80-20, 90-10, his deal, because he PG Lane, right? Like, so with this new album, GNX, he owns, like, he has a majority of all of the songs on there. So you got to think the songs with TDE, they still eating off of that, right? So now we got to think, like, this makes all of the hip hop sense in the world. Like, I'm going to give you this stuff. I don't care if y'all know the records or not, because you know what you go do? You're going to go back and listen to the records. You're going to go back and listen to the records. Like, I think it's already about to, we'll find out at the end of the weekend or top of the week next week, it's already back to number one. Like, so think about this, y'all. Like, what we're conditioned to in thinking about the Super Bowl is we want the hits. It's something to remember by. We want all the songs and all of that. And is that a wrong thing? No, that's what we're conditioned to, right? But once again, man, I have to lean on the fact that this is the first time we have a hip hop act that's headlining. And now if we want to just get into it, what makes him so cold with it is, bruh, I mean, outside of SZA, you don't have nobody else out there. So you running up and down that field, your breath control, every record, no background vocals. So now we want to get into the people saying, oh, the crowd wasn't into it. When I'm at a show, and if it's an artist that I rock with, you know what I'm doing? I'm watching the show. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Nobody was cheering. They go cheer on the, you're watching the show. You see the lights going like this whole thought that you have to be cheering. Sometimes I want people to shut the fuck up while I'm watching the show. You feel me? Like I mean, in certain aspects, certain concerts, I might go crazy and be singing and all that, but I want to see the show. And that's what he was giving, was a show, right? So right there, he's giving you records. He gave you 2 records, DNA and Humble, that's a part of his catalog, right? But he fit those in because it's a part of the story that he was telling too, which goes back to what we were saying from the very beginning. You know you're going to get a show from this man. There's a story behind it. So I think we got to chill out. I'm listening to all these people talk, and they like, oh, the show was trash. Here's my thing, man. I'm not here to convince anybody of your opinion is your opinion. And I'm not going to say you're dumb or anything like that, because I can understand if you didn't enjoy it because you didn't know the records, or there's records you didn't like or anything like that. But the flip side of that, and which is totally fine. Like, I love the fact that he was so defiant. And he's like, I don't give a damn if I got a tour that I'm about to go on. I'm still repping for my city. I brought New Orleans to Compton. Oh, that's another thing. Sorry. So when I think, I'm like, damn, he didn't bring the horns out. But if you watch the beginning of the Super Bowl, New Orleans was represented in the Super Bowl, right? Like New Orleans, so they got that out the way. Like you had from the beginning of the show, you had the Southern marching band out there. You know what I mean? Like I think John Batista, I think that's how you say his name, Master P came out. So it was there. New Orleans was represented from the beginning. He said, I don't have to do that. I'm bringing Compton. I'm bringing y'all to Compton. I'm bringing y'all to LA. And I only can respect that and appreciate that, because the thing is, here we are still talking about it. They go talk about it another week or two. They doing all the dissecting, all of the things. He's doing what he set out to do is major crazy because it's working. I'm talking about it now. It's a topic of conversation, right? And so, like I said, from a business aspect, from saying F the system, so he gave it to America, and he gave it to hip hop, and he worked your mind to say, dang, is this how halftime shows supposed to be? So now, like, who's now? I don't know if we go get a hip hop artist in the next. It's probably gonna be somebody white or pop. They probably about done with us 5 years in a row. Shout out to Jay and Rock Nation for doing that. So we'll see what next year holds. But let's really think about how smart this was, and he showed us the play the whole time from when he dropped the album in November. Right? Like, he dropped the album in November, and that's the thing, is that I'm looking at it because we've been waiting on it. We're like, when's the album go drop? When's the album go drop? And he already dropped it. He gave you the record. So that's the thing. So it's either you was with it or you wasn't with it. And his whole thing, back to the other thing I said, he's been on his culture. He's been on his culture since the pop out, since They Not Like Us. So let's put it all back in perspective. He's taken on an 8-9 month run of representing for LA, from the video, from They Not Like Us dropping, or the song dropping in May, the pop out in June, the video in July. 2 months later, you get announced for the Super Bowl. Then you drop an album in November. Then you sweep the Grammys. This has to be the greatest hip hop run that we've ever seen, besides when 50 came and just killed the game. And so now he's about to go on an stadium tour, which may end up overseas. So that starts in April, 2 months. So this dude he's running hip hop for a year. The sales is about to go up on that. We're going to continue to dissect the show. We're going to continue to do that. And so, like, I'm like, yo, like, my man, it was just smart thinking. And meanwhile, you still repping for your city. So you go probably bring out the homies from the, you go bring out the homies that's on the album, you know what I'm saying, through the show. So you still putting on. So for those who was like, oh, the pop out ain't did nothing. No, he's still staying true to what he set out and did. Now, I want to address something else to these goofies who's talking about Serena, and Serena shouldn't have been in the video. And the reason why I bring that up, everybody that was here at the crib went crazy with Serena. I think it was fire. I think we got to get past this whole her husband or she hurt over Drake. The dude, he drops a line in the song saying, don't speak on Serena. Like, dude, are y'all dumb? He name dropped her in the song. I'm go put her on, I'm gonna give her the stage. So even on top of her sea walking, cause she couldn't do it in Wimbledon and all of that, like, yo, like, he shouted her out in the song, and people was acting like they didn't hear that part of the song. Like, what is she doing out there? She's still hurt over Drake. She from Compton. And then y'all talking this silly stuff. I don't want to say silly stuff. God rest her sister's soul, saying that her sister was, you know, shot by Crips and all that. However, she's processed that situation. And like I said, I don't know the full story behind that. If she sea-walked Wimbledon, this is not the first time Serena has done this. So we got to chill. And then the goofy cats that's talking about she's still hurt over Drake and all of that. I mean, whatever. But I think, like I said, she had an opportunity to be on that stage. She took it, right? And we got to quit being goofy. And like I said, my man name dropped her in the song. Like, so same way DeRozan was in the video. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we gotta chill out. So, like I said, man, my man, his breath control, him just being on the mic, like the show, the performance. Y'all talking about it, the crowd wasn't into it. He said, F the crowd. Do y'all know who's at the Super Bowl? Rich white folks. Like, and so and I think the hip hop community, like I said, man, you can have an opinion, but I think we have to really be mindful. Once again, I think because of the situation, we act like we've been here. You're supposed to act like you've been here before, but we haven't. That's the thing. This is the first. So who better than Kendrick? And like I said, if Kanye was in his right mind, I would say when we start thinking about performances and shows and imagery and all of that, not somebody just getting on the stage and a bunch of fire blowing up and you running back and forth, like who's gonna give you some top-notch visuals and all of that? Like Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like, it made sense. If we was just talking just a show or whatever and just for fun, then yeah, man, like having Wayne and the shout out to New Orleans would have been fine. I think so too. But as your first to set a precedence in a moment, like I think he nailed it out the park. Like, and to still do your show, even though it got leaked, and do it to perfection like that, fire. And like I said, we can get into all the symbolism. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to deep dive. Y'all can go check everybody else for those takes and all of that. We'll find something and everything. Like I said, I still go back and watch it, but I'm just looking at the artistry of him, the breath control, the running up and down, that's the other thing. My fault. The whole thing of being defiant. Do I think if Drake now wasn't trying to sue UMG, I don't think he would have did the record. I think him doing the record was the F you to all of you, like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna do this verse. Like, I think that was very intentional, but I don't know that was the full play. I think that just added to it. So it's like the things that happen, like, I feel like it's one of them things where Drake don't know how to take an L. Or he didn't take it the right way. Like, and I mean, and when you're a winner, I guess, you know, when you don't know how, like, you know, you don't know how to lose or anything like, I think he just made the situation worse. But on my other side to that is like, damn, like I said, the other part of me is like, I wish he would have did some of the hits, just because you got people out here talking crazy or talking down on this man like they don't know. But that's the part where you have to be so confident that you really don't care what anybody say. You don't care what anybody. I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm that guy. Like, and that's literally what he showed in there. So that's, like I said, man, that's that's my thoughts on it. I'm trying to think, am I leaving anything out? I think it was genius. I think it's been a great run. As I'm sitting here talking to you all about it, I'm just putting all the pieces together. I'm like, bro, this record dropped May 4th, right? This record dropped May 4th around 6 o'clock Central Time. I remember I was out with my cousin's surprise birthday dinner, and boom, it came through. I'm like, wow. And then everything else kind of predicted. I said, something's going to happen. Juneteenth, I just knew it's blackness. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I was like, oh, the album dropping, the video dropping the 4th. Like, that's easy. And so, like I said, man, shout out to Kendrick, their whole team. When you go back and watch that, all this stuff about the crowd, that's dumb. Like I said, we're not even represented at these shows. I mean, outside of entertainers and celebrities and people who probably have businesses that got them tickets or whatever, we're probably 2-3% at this football game. So the people that's like I say, if the crowd wasn't, who cares if the crowd was screaming or not? You know what I'm saying? Like he was, and that's the other part about it. He's like, yo, I'm big enough to where, and that's the thing as an artist, it's like sometimes you got to know the audience. I was just judging an event a couple days ago, and I was telling some of the young cats, I was like, hey, be mindful of your audience. But that's because they don't have the leverage. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to play into your audience. Kendrick said, trick that. Y'all go do what I want y'all to do. So I want y'all to pay attention to the sales going up. I want y'all to pay attention to the sales of this album, and that it's going to be on the charts. Again, I want you to pay attention to the NBA going into All-Star Weekend. Check out if you hear Squabble Up or TV Off. I'm telling you, be mindful of where you hear these in commercials. So it's going to start to really make sense as far as like on the music selection. And then when you think about everything else that he did, like I said, all of the imagery, the PlayStation, the game, Game Over, Uncle Sam, everything, the red, white, and blue, like all of the things that we can find and put on it. They already said the jeans done sold out, the shoes been up, the Nike shoe, like they've been going crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the Gaza thing was planned. There's no charges on him. And I seen another view from that video where dude was up there with the flag for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that might have been a part. You know, we don't know. I see my girl Keisha. Yeah, they definitely know that A minor part. Yeah, that's rough and tough. But yeah, the say Drake, like he went crazy. Like he was very intentional about what he was doing. So like I said, man, those are my thoughts on this man, and I'm interested to see. I definitely want to go to the concert, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. I've been bumping GNX. It's right back in rotation. It's a great project, but man, I just think any artist should really study this run, right, of what has happened, like outside of the beef, right? Like this is where somebody takes an opportunity and really runs with it and takes it to another level. And I think that's another lesson that artists need to pay attention to, is like, you take the moment. You know what I'm saying? Mustard got a deal out of it. People are getting looks out of this. Like I said, the artist that's on the album is getting looks, dropping projects. Like he's really putting on for the city, and for him to take this and say, I'm gonna take this on tour, still showing love to TDE because you got SZA on it. So that's another thing. Like, look at what him branching out, doing his own thing, and his loyalty still to the people who got him there. So I think these are things, man, that you should really pay attention to. And like I say, for the culture, we have this culture talk, and he's done that. So like I said, I'm up here looking at the comments. That's why I keep turning my head or whatever. But yeah, like he's, man, it's been a smart run, and I'm just in awe, because this man dropped the album and said, this is what I'm gonna do. Like he put it in our face, like pause, big pause. Like as we were trying to figure out what his set list was gonna be in November, December, then we've been waiting on the deluxe, and he's like, I don't have to do none of that. Like, that's fire to me. Like, and I'm still putting on for the city. So that's the biggest thing that I got. That's my take on it. So for those who didn't like it, that's fine. But if you do your history, you go respect it. I think for hip hop, it's a big thing because everybody's been talking about it. Kendrick don't give a damn probably what any of us got to say. But what I do hope he do, I hope he clip up. I love listening to these folks when they upset about something. It's like, yo, we sat through 30 years of who, what, why. Like, man, y'all better get the hell up out of here. Like, let this black man get out here. And we didn't know none of them records. And that's the other thing that I'm looking at. Our people in hip hop is like, and we didn't know the records 15 years ago with some of these folks. Like so, but like I said, if you didn't like the show, you didn't like the show. I get it. Like, I'm not mad at anybody's take, like, of not liking it because it wasn't what you want. Like, that's fine. But to say it was trash, to say that's kind of weird to me. If you said it was mid, I can understand. To say it's trash is weird, but it's your opinion. Like I said, as an artist and loving hip hop, I keep repeating myself on this. Like that was smart. Like he's killing it. So y'all should learn. I think for anybody that's in any business, man, when you get an opportunity, when you get a moment, you better run with it. You better run and go. Cause I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, damn, like, did he miss a moment by letting them know the slaps? And I was like, no, he didn't care. Cause he's done that. He's shown we know he got the slaps. Like, he's done the tours. That's me going back and forth, just wondering like, damn, does he get another moment like that? But he said, no, the moment, not that I'm bigger than the moment, but I know I want to use this. I know how I want to use this moment. And like I say, with the storytelling, the imagery and all of that, it don't ruffle feathers. So shout out to K-Dot, man. Shout out to you all for locking in with me. And I had to switch over with the different stream stuff. I'm gonna get this together. But yeah, man, I'm gonna be back with y'all with my thoughts on different hip hop stuff. I've really tried to stay out of talking about this publicly because but the sad thing about I've seen everybody been making a dollar off talking about it. I mean, it's kind of like, I hope it's like game over. I hope it's over, but people crashing out over this week. So we'll see how, like I said, the tour pop off in April. So we'll see. I mean, that's gonna be a whole year. The beef started the last week of March. I mean, we already getting into March. That's wild. So anyway, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Hold on, let me see here. There was a question. I'm sorry. Let's see, anybody got something. Do I think, everyone in the chat, what's currently your favorite track on GNX? Man, my favorite out the gate was TV Off. Like that beat change, that was easy for me. I already knew. It was like I knew exactly what that was gonna do. And then Reincarnated. And what's so funny is that Peekaboo I thought Peekaboo when I was like, yo, when you can get on certain beats, this is, man, that artistry. Peekaboo and Hey Now, like when you can flip verses like that, like I said, man, this just pure skill. But yeah, man, TV Off is probably that Dodger Blue. Everything slide on that thing. Like you got, man, whacked out man. That whole project is fire. Like, he did it. Let me see. Do you think he's going to drop a deluxe? I don't know. Because it's kind of like, do we need to? Why? That's why I look at it as like, does it need a deluxe? I don't know if it needs a deluxe. I think at this time you just ride out on the sunset. If anything, just drop it. Maybe drop a part 2 or something. If you drop a deluxe, 3 or 4 records. I don't know if it's necessary at this point. But hey, y'all, I will say, we'll see if he do it, man. Listen, I will. Now this is what I'm gonna say. If this dude drops something tomorrow, I'm gonna tell him to stop. I think I'm gonna just have to send a message and say, bro, you gotta chill. Like, at some point, you gotta chill. And I'll talk about that another time. Like, cause right now, they got Drake as the victim. That's what and it's like, bruh, like people talking about, oh, how a person help you your career and that, man. There's so much stuff that's probably happened in between time and all of that. Hold on, like it would have come immediately followed the performance. Yeah, for real. He said game over. Facts, bub. Like he said game over. Like that's a fact. I kind of want him, like, I just kind of want to go back to the, cause I guess I'm tired of the narrative that he's living off of Drake's name, and man, these dudes been shooting at each other. I mean, and here's the man. Okay, all right. I'm gonna dive in 3 minutes and I'm out. This is for real. I think people forget in this hip hop thing, as an MC, you want to be the best, you want to dominate, you want to you step out there, and like I said, you look at battle rap, all you go take your shots. Kendrick has always been that way since the Control verse, and people can say, oh man, like, well, Drake took him on tour and he said all these nice things and all of that, but he said, like, I'm cool with you dudes off the record, but on this microphone, this is what it is. And so if we start getting into the personal stuff, you have to realize, y'all, like, Drake's MO has been smash on your girl and talk about it. Like, that's it. Like, talk about it in the songs. And we don't know what other business stuff behind the scenes that's been going on in these years. And we ain't heard music from them, like, in forever. And Kendrick specifically said, keep the family out of it. We can keep this a friendly fade. Like, we can just keep this straight music. So people keep trying to go back and act like that didn't happen. Like, it didn't have to go this way, right? Like, it didn't have to go this way. So, like, we got to stop with the victim. Do I think it's a little overkill? You know what I'm saying? Like I say, at this point, I think, but I really hope that he doesn't drop anything tomorrow, because it's like, all right, bro, like, it's like you kicking them, like stop, like you whooping feet, stop. So, like, let's just let P&D and Drake get their moment off tomorrow. Y'all have y'all Valentine music and let it be. So, like I said, man, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. That whacked out Murals Dodgeably. Yeah, man, that thing slide. That Dodgeably, like, make you want to feel like it's springtime, you know what I'm saying? So, but yes, man, thank you all for tapping in. Oh, I got to do my shameless plug once again. Black in America, the hoodies and t-shirts, 15% off all this month. Check out the new record, Make That Money, which is featured on the Will Trent season 3, episode 2. Make That Money. Go stream that now. Anything else, any other way you can support me, subscribe to my website, mogulmal.com, MOGULMAL.com. I got my Mal on Movies, got an episode dropping next week. So we just doing it. So stay locked in with me. I'll be dropping some more of these coming soon. Got some other things in the work. We go talk this hip hop. I'm gonna take y'all back. You know what I'm saying? Like, just how it got started. We go review albums. We just go love this culture and remember what the 4 elements are, right? That's what we go do. So that's my thoughts on this halftime show. And so, yeah, man, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in with your boy. All right? Peace.